Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the webinar slash hangout tonight. And I am Tony Coleman-Brown, and I am so excited to be with you guys tonight. We have a very, very special guest who is going to be presenting some fantastic information for you guys. And I see that, before we get started, I see we have quite a few people in the hangout tonight, and I'm excited to see some of you. I'm excited to see you, Mary Newman. Hello, hello, hello. And Liz Foster. Hello. It's so good to see you here in the hangout room tonight. It's been a long time since I've been to Cincinnati. I need to come out there unless you've moved. You might be here in New York now. But it's good to see you. Dolores Strahan, it's good to see you here. You were our winner last week of the book, and
Great.
you reminded me that I need to get those books shipped out. But it's good to see you. I will get those books in the mail tomorrow. How about that? But it's good to see you guys. And we're here. We're representing the Network for Women in Business, and what we do is we educate to elevate women in business. So we're excited to have you guys here tonight. Our motto and our mission is to train, connect, and advance women in business. So we're always excited to have you guys here, and we're always, always excited to have some really wonderful presenters and experts. So I want to give this lady her due justice, and I really want to read her full bio. So I am so excited because tonight our speaker is going to wow you with the information that she's going to share, but I want to pull up her bio so I can definitely, do her some full justice. I had the awesome, awesome pleasure of meeting Miss Denise Dennis at the Small Business Boot Camp for Women. So, she came to the networking event, and I have to tell you, I was excited to meet her. I knew that she was someone very special from that particular time of meeting her. She is the owner of Prepared Mind Coaching. And I'm looking for your bio. I'm looking for I think I got it though. I think I got it in this email. Yes, I definitely do, because I want to give you full justice, and I want to read off this information about you, because she is just really a phenomenal individual, and you guys are going to be, like I said, wowed with the information that she is going to share with us tonight. So she is the business owner and of Prepared Mind Coaching. And I don't know why okay, here we go. So Denise Dennis, she is Dr. Denise Dennis. She's the author of Make That Change, 8 Steps for Crafting Your Ideal Life. She's a business owner and development coach with over 2 decades of experience in the fields of education, training, and coaching. She helps new and aspiring leaders and small business owners prepare their minds for the opportunities ahead of them. Through her coaching business, Prepared Mind Coaching LLC, Dr. Dennis offers one-on-one and group coaching, webinars, and workshops for leaders and small business owners, groups, and organizations. Dr. Dennis combines her passion for helping clients create change with her wealth of expertise and education in the field. She is a firm believer in lifelong training, just like us here. She's earned a PhD in industrial organizational psychology, which means she studied how psychology is applied to the workplace. Very interesting. And she is a professional certified career coach. She is a graduate of the Career Coach Institute and Corporate Coach U, and she is pursuing additional certification through the International Coach Academy. One of her favorite quotes is by the French chemist and microbiologist Louis Pasteur. Chance favors the prepared mind. I love that. This quote summarizes her vision of coaching and life. Chances and opportunities come into our lives, but we can only make the most of them when our minds are well prepared. Through her signature vision boards workshops, Dr. Dennis shows how to take the first steps in preparing one's mind for leadership by reflecting on one's vision of an ideal life. A vision board is a collage of images and words representing what one wants in one's personal or professional life. Workshop attendees cut out images and fill their boards with pictures, phrases, and words of positive imagery. Prepared Mind Coaching Vision Boards workshops are special because Dr. Dennis shares the research evidence that shows how they work and how to convert the vision to actions that lead to real, lasting change. I am so excited to get to this information tonight because I know that it is going to be absolutely life changing. And I am a firm believer that people don't get what they want, they get what they see. So a vision board is absolutely a must. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to some and present to others our very special guest expert tonight, Dr. Denise Dennis. Lady, take it away.
Thank you so much, Tony. I really
Woo-hoo!
appreciate this invitation. I think vision boards are so powerful. Part of the reason for that is with my business, the way I view myself and how I refer to myself these days is a side business strategist. I work with people who are growing a business on the side while holding down a full-time job. And this has been my a challenge for me for a while. I used to have a business years ago. I was doing coaching and training, and it was starting to grow, which is, you would think that's wonderful, but I hadn't really thought through what I wanted for that business. And so I had this kind of coach consulting business that was starting to grow, but I still had my full-time job as a psychology professor. And all of a sudden I realized this side business is really kind of turning into something. Did I mean for it to turn into something? Did I want to kind of balance the two? Did I want to take this over? And I hadn't really thought it through. And I got to a point where all of a sudden I had to decide, do I want to continue to grow the side business, or do I want the security of the full-time job? And because I hadn't really thought it through, I chose the security of the full-time job, which for several years after I regretted. And it was all because I hadn't thought through where I was going and what I needed to do. This time around, I'm much more clear about what I want to do. I've created a vision board for myself, and I'm very clear about what I need to do to make that vision a reality, and where am I headed, and what are the steps I need to take, and what are the obstacles I might face, and how might I overcome them. And so what I wanted to talk to you all today, this evening, about was how to do the same thing, how to move from vision to action, and how to fast track your business with vision boards. What I want to talk to you about is 4 things we're going to talk. I want to talk about what a vision board is, and Tony touched on that a little bit. I want to talk about why they work, because I think that's really crucial. I want to talk about how you create one, because it's not necessarily just as simple as cutting out images. And then I want to talk about how you convert that vision into action. So the simple question is, what is a vision board? As Tony said, it's usually some sort of collage. It's images that represent your philosophy, your hopes, your dreams, your goals through pictures, images, words, other images. And usually people will create a vision board by cutting out words and images from magazines, or you download things from the internet. And usually you're picking things that tap in to your ideal life, your ideal vision for the future. But there's so much more to it than that, and that's really what I want to talk to you about. I want to share, I'm going to switch over to my slides just so I can talk to you a little bit about what vision boards really do for you. And now let me just work this system here. Okay. So why do vision boards work? Vision boards work because creating the vision board increases the likelihood that you're going to accomplish your goals. But please remember that vision boards are not magic. If vision boards were magic, we would all be millionaires because we just would slap a picture of money up on the up on a board and poof, we'd be rich. So it's not that simple, but there are a lot of concepts in the field of psychology that support the idea that vision boards really do work. So for example, there's a concept called selective attention. And we can't pay attention to everything all the time. So if you think about it right now, you are probably not conscious of how your clothing is feeling on your body until I mentioned it right now. You know, there is that sensation, but you've already forgotten about it soon after you put your clothes on. But what a vision board does is heighten the awareness of the items that are on that board, so we become more attuned to them when we encounter them in the world. So for example, if you want to change jobs and you place a picture representing you in your new position on your vision board, you'll be more likely to notice job postings related to your ideal position. This is similar to what's known as the cocktail party effect. So if you're these folks right here just having a great time at a party, because of course that's how we all dance when we're at a party, we're in this noisy setting with everybody talking and the music's going and everything, but still, somehow, you're still able to concentrate on the conversation right in front of you. So when the rest of your life is full of a bunch of noise, a vision board is going to help you hear the actions that are related to your future. And then obviously there's a lot of research that talks about goal setting. And I'm not going to go through and cite a bunch of research, but just I can certainly share those with folks that might be interested. Locke and Latham did some work on this. But basically what we know is that when you set a challenging, specific goal, that goes a long way toward goal attainment. So that suggests that when you set a goal, or when you create a vision board, the images on your vision board shouldn't be general. So rather than saying, ooh, I want to travel, and putting an image on your vision board of a plane to represent travel, you could be much more specific. You could have pictures of the Eiffel Tower, a picture of the Great Pyramids, a picture of the Venice canals to illustrate the specific places that you wish to go. So the more specific, the better, and also the more challenging, the better. But challenging but realistic. So make sure that you're choosing something that you could someday attain. You know, I want to get in shape, and but I'm not going to say that I'm going to participate in the decathlon, because that's not something that I would ever do. But I could say that I might do a short version of a triathlon, a sprint level, where you just run a short period of time, bike a short distance, swim a short distance. That might be something attainable for me, which would make sense to put on my board. And then the third way that vision boards work is through something called cognitive dissonance. And to this theory of cognitive dissonance, we like to be consistent. We don't like it when our thoughts and our behaviors are misaligned. So when we create thoughts or attitudes in our heads related to the vision board, we're more likely to change our behaviors to match those thoughts. Does that make sense? So in this instance, if we put on our vision board that we want to get in shape, and so we put a picture of people in the gym running on the treadmill, and if we're looking at that on a regular basis, our attitude or our thoughts is working out would be a smart thing to do. If our behavior is plopping down in front of the television, watching whatever might happen to be on Thursday evening at 9 o'clock, then then that behavior is not necessarily matching that action, that attitude rather. And our psychology does not like it when our thoughts and our behaviors don't match, and so we try to fix it. So ideally what we're going to do is get up off of the couch and do some exercises.
Okay, stop right there.
Yep.
Stop right there. So you're telling me that so I have to ask this. So you're telling me that if I have a picture of people exercising in front of me and I'm looking at it regularly on a daily basis, that it would kind of prompt me more to exercise, and it'll start making sense in my brain that exercising is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it will be a catalyst for a change in behavior? Is that true?
It is the part that you said, actually, let me come back over. Whoops. The last part that you said in particular, the part about it being a catalyst, is the most important part. It's not.
Okay.
I wanted to stress that it's not magic. It's not.
Okay.
There's a picture there, and all of a sudden, oh, look at my body.
You know we want magic. I want magic over here.
So it's not magic, but if that becomes the starting point, and then you create some tools around that, which I'm going to talk about later, then more likely to implement it.
All right.
So it's but our brains are sneaky. Our unconscious mind is sneaky, and Freud's research, Freud's theories would attest to the fact unconscious minds are sneaky. So what that means is that instead of changing our behaviors to match our attitudes, we could very well change our attitudes to match our behaviors and say, well, that was just some silly vision board I made in some workshop. I'm throwing it in a drawer, and that's not really something I'm interested in. And then you plop down on the sofa and watch TV. So you could very well change your thoughts to match your behavior, which is why, obviously as a coach, I encourage people to work with a coach to make sure that you're changing your behaviors to match your thoughts and coming up with a plan for implementing the things on the vision board. That's the part that's important, is coming up with that plan.
All right.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you create a vision board. You don't start with the scissors and the old magazines. That's not the starting point. Let me just kind of walk through what I feel is the smart starting point. I think you need to start with step one, coming up with a timeline for your vision board. So is it, are you going to come up with a vision board that represents the next 90 days? So we're in the last quarter of the year. Do you want to say, this is going to be my vision for the rest of the year? Do you want to think in terms of the next 6 months, or start making your 2015 vision board, or just, is your timeline? And you know what, I forgot to mention, as I'm going through this, don't worry about trying to take notes, because I have all of this in a free report that I'm going to make available to everyone. So no need to try to get this stuff down, because I'll give it to you later. So that's step one, is to come up with your timeline. And then the next step is to write out your vision. So I'm approaching it from, the people I'm working with are people that have a side business, and so I will ask my clients to write out their vision for their side business for the next year, from now through the end of 2015. So that might mean, what is your ideal client? If you picture yourself December 2015, are you able to balance the business on the side while working the full-time job? Is it, how is it a change for the better? What are you actually doing from day to day? How and where are you living? So those kinds of details. Actually sit down and write it out. And this might mean, you light a candle and relax and put on some soft music and really just kind of think through what you want to do. Give yourself at least 30 minutes to write it out. At least. Really put some thought into it. Some of the categories you might want to think about might be your ideal clients, what sort of professional growth you want to have, where you see yourself in your full-time job if you're working a side gig, the role of your health in all of this, because of course that's important, your relationships with significant others, children, parents, co-workers, clients, customers. What are those going to look like by that point? What is your money going to look like at that point? Where are you living? Have you moved? Have you downsized or moved to a bigger place? And what are you doing for fun? And it's important not to leave that out of the equation. Now, I do a lot of free vision board workshops, live workshops, where I'll go to people's organizations and do them. And obviously, we're not going to take 30 minutes to sit down and write out the vision, but I think I do give people a hand up where they can kind of think about these topics here and at least start generating some ideas in these areas. And then, whoops, we'll get to that in a second. Let me come back over to you and talk about the fun part. Okay, so now you're going to actually get your supplies together and actually make the vision board, which is the fun part. So if you're going to create a traditional vision board, you want a piece of poster board. So this is still in the package, but something like this. This is 14 by 22. I happen to like this particular size, but obviously you're going to get whatever size works for you. Some people do it on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Some people do it much bigger. And you can just get that at any office supply store or any discount department store that's out there. You also need scissors. So either get the regular scissors, or if you want to be all fancy, you go to one of the craft stores and you can get the fancy scissors people use to do scrapbooking, which will do really neat kind of decorative edges around the outside. And then what I think is the real the important part is to get glue sticks. Do not get liquid, white school glue, because if you remember way back in elementary school, when you were gluing with that white Elmer's glue, it would leave the paper all wet and with ridges and just a mess. Glue stick goes on smoothly, leaves the paper smooth, much easier to control, and if necessary, much easier to clean up. So highly, highly, highly recommend glue sticks. And then, of course, you need some images. Use old magazines. Do not limit yourself to the magazines that you have around the house, because they may all be the same type of magazine, have very similar images. You want a variety of things that are going to kind of pique your interest. You can get together with friends and do a vision board party, and then that way everybody brings magazines and kind of shares them. Or you can go to a doctor's office or a hair salon. Both of those places are notorious for having a bunch of old magazines. So go there, see if they'll give you some magazines. Go online to Google Images, put in, that you want a sunset or whatever it is, and just see the images that pop up. Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, lots of sources for images. And we're not worried about royalties for any of these things, because you're not going to turn around and sell this. You're just going to put it on your own boards for your own inspiration. So that's not an issue. So go through the magazines, look for words and phrases. Just going to show you some examples. So this one, fast track to fit, love, fresh, healthy cooking from the garden, whatever it is, how to lose weight and keep it off, whatever it is for you. I happen to like sort of a combination of words and images, which is just me. Other people like to have a lot of words, other people like to have no words and just a lot of images. So obviously it's just whatever works for you. I highly recommend before you start gluing, lay out everything on the board. So just kind of figure out where everything is going to fit, because otherwise, and I've seen this in my workshops, someone will just start in a corner or start in the middle, and then they forgot they had this other really big image they wanted to add, and now there's no place for it. So just lay it all out first. And you could just have it random in a pattern that looks nice for you. You might want to divide the board into areas. So you might have the ones related to your relationships all on one corner of the board, and the ones related to your desire to be more organized on another corner of the board. So there's no one right way, obviously. You're just going to go with what feels right for you. Now, another bit that comes from the research on vision boards suggests that to make it as effective as possible, you also want to include pictures of yourself on the board. So if you want to create a book, and so this is a book that I recently wrote called Make That Change. And so it has, I actually created the mock-up of the title, and I put my picture on there, and I actually put the mock-up on my board of this is what I hope to create someday. And so I'm looking at that on a daily basis, and eventually it came to fruition. I mean, through hard work, it came to fruition. Vision boards are not magic. So, so doing that, something with your picture on it, putting your head on Michelle Obama's body and saying that that's how I see myself someday. It doesn't. You're not even worried about proportions. So if you have a giant picture of yourself and it's a little skinny person's body and it kind of looks like a lollipop, that's all right. The point is to imagine your face with Betty, or your face as the one accepting that big award, or your face driving that car. That just helps with the visualization process. The other thing I want to remind you, if you're going to have that vision board and then get it framed make sure you leave like a 1/4 inch all the way around. And that way when you get it framed, or if you put a mat on it, there's space for it for the mat to go without covering up some of your images. And that's one I learned the hard way, but I'm messing up my vision board. Now, once you've created the vision board, you can't stop there. If you just create a pretty picture, then all you've done is create a pretty picture, and you've created wall art, and that's it. What you need to do is move from that vision to action. First step actually is that wall art idea, that you want your vision board to be someplace displayed where you're going to see it on a regular basis. So I'll slide over here. This is my vision board right here. All right, it is on the wall of my home office. I see it every single time I walk in the room and come sit at my desk. The other place I have my vision board, and I forgot to have it handy, but on my iPad, I took a picture of the vision board and I use it as a wallpaper on my iPad. So every time I turn my iPad on, my vision board is right in front of my face. And that's because if you do a vision board in one of these workshops and then you throw it in a drawer somewhere or stick it in the back of the closet or fold it up, then what's that? It's not going to be very useful. So step one, keep it someplace where you can see it. And then just a reminder, they're not magic. And you see a consistent theme to the night. They are not magic. And the secret of vision boards is that on their own, they do not work. Vision boards do not do anything unless you do. You are the one that has to do the work. The vision board is sort of your end goal, but up on, this is not creating a business for me. This is not creating a, the vision board didn't write that that book. I had to write that book and spend the time focusing on it, but having that picture up there reminded me that that's something that's really important to me and that I need to take time to do. So now you have your vision board. Think about what steps you need to take in order to make that vision a reality. So what actions do you need to take? What are the deadlines for those actions? So all of those same sort of project management type steps are what is needed in order to accomplish your vision. Another thing that I work on with clients is what obstacles might you encounter and what is your plan for overcoming those obstacles. That is a really important step to think through what might get in the way of me accomplishing this goal. So the vision in the vision board really refers to visualizing every aspect of your ideal. So make sure that you're kind of visualizing, you're thinking about it, thinking about not just the end result, but also spending time thinking about the actions that you need to take in order to accomplish that success. Once again, there's research that shows that if you just focus on that end result, that yes, someday I hope to be rich or whatever it might be. So just focusing on the end and kind of picturing yourself being rich, if that was what your vision is, that is actually harmful. The thinking about and spending a great deal of time focusing on the end result is harmful because you get so caught up in just the thought. But if you spend time visualizing the steps that it will take to get to there, that's where the success comes in. That's where you that's what the athletes do. That's if you see athletes practicing, even before they get out there to practice, they're thinking it through. They're thinking through how to serve the perfect tennis serve. They're thinking about how to shoot that basket, how to throw that ball. Thinking through the actions, not just the end result. It's so very critical, and you're going to see some positive results from that. So most successful people find that really the way to be successful is to have a partner in this process, whether it's working with a coach, a mentor, or someone else. Obviously, as a coach, I think coaching is wonderful. I think that coaching gives you that accountability that you're not going to get anywhere else. If you know that you put up on your vision board that you want to write, and so many of us have books in us. You put on your vision board that you want to write a book. You talk to me and say, well, for between now and the next time we talk, I'm going to at least have chapter 1 outlined. You're much more likely to actually have chapter 1 outlined because you know that you're going to come talk to me in a week or 2 weeks or whatever our schedule is, and you want to have that done. So it's those little actions that push people forward. So with my coaching, as I said, I work with people who have a side business while they're trying to hold a full-time job, and I help those clients clarify that vision, come up with a plan, identify those actions, and then help them to remain accountable for those actions. And then we also look at what might be sabotaging their beliefs. So that's kind of the basics of what I wanted to share with you. I did want to let you know about a program that I have. Oops, let me get back over to you so I can share this. Come on now. I wanted to share with you a program that I have that's specifically for people who are trying to develop a side business while holding down a full-time job. And it's called Operate Like a Boss. And BOSS stands for Business on the Side Success. This is a mastermind group that I have that I wanted to just share with you in case some of you might have an interest in it. So the goals for the mastermind group are to help you clarify your vision for your side business, develop specific strategies to propel you forward, reduce the stress caused by overload, and then also to create systems to save you time, money, and energy. Particularly for people that have a side business, you don't have time to waste time. And so it's so important that we make the most of that and come up with some systems to get things running smoothly. So this is a 6-month group coaching program. It includes 2 calls a month, and the way that we do the calls is that the first call each month is what a content call. So like I said, I'm a psychology professor, so I have to do a little bit of teaching, and I wanted to share some concepts with you of things that have worked in the past for people that have a business on the side, and just some success strategies. And then the second call each month is a Q&A call where we talk about the assignments you've done since the last time that we met, and we make it really practical, really catered toward the needs of the people in the group. It includes worksheets, exercises, and activities. So again, professor and me, you do get a little bit of homework, but the good thing about it, you're not getting graded, and nobody's checking to fuss at you if you didn't happen to get it done. But it tends to be pretty fun, and people actually do the work and see some good results. I have an online portal where you can download all the various activities and worksheets. We also have a private Facebook group, which I think is a wonderful opportunity for networking with other group members, particularly since people are doing a bunch of different businesses, and so this is a way to build those relationships. All the calls are recorded, so over the course of 6 months, obviously some things come up, people travel, people have meetings. This is an opportunity to still keep up with the group, even if you can't make the live calls. And then I also offer a bonus of 2 one-on-one strategy sessions with me to go through your specific challenges and identify your specific goals for the 6 months. So a program like this that has all of these features is really valued at well over $5,000. It's probably valued at more, but at least $5,000. And my regular price for people that are not on these webinars is $19.97, and that is actually kind of low. My own coach would be very upset with these prices, and I'll probably be kind of pressured to raise them next time I offer it. But this is the price for this season. For people that are on the webinar, I'm giving you a special price of $9.97, and that's a real deal, and I can only offer it for the people that are coming through the webinar. I'm only including 20 people total, so if you want one of those slots, this would be a good time to get it. The program's going to kick off on Thursday, December 4th. So in December we'll meet on the 1st and the 3rd Thursdays, and then starting in January after the holidays, we'll switch to the 2nd and 4th Thursdays. It's a morning call, 7 a.m. Eastern, so that people can have the call before they go to their full-time jobs. And like I said, it's going to be limited to 20 participants. So I'm going to put up on the side, if I can figure out how to get back over to this, the offer for you. Oh, she got it already. Good, thank you. And appreciate that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go just directly to the link, it's special.operatelikeaboss.com. No www in there. And then also, I just wanted to give you that free report that I mentioned, that if you want the notes on fast tracking your business with vision boards, which covers what I talked about today, what a vision board is, how they work, how you create one, how do you move from vision to action, then visit vision.operatelikeaboss.com, put in your email, and you'll receive a free copy. So that's pretty much sums up what I wanted to share with you all tonight. I do want to give you my contact information should you want to stay in stay in touch. Again, I'm Dr. Denise Dennis. I'm a side business strategist with Prepared Mind Coaching. You can visit me at Prepared Mind Coaching. You can visit me on Facebook at Prepared Mind Coaching. My Twitter handle is ddennispmc. And if you have a side business and you would like to talk about might be a good fit for you, I'd love to talk with you about I'd like to have a strategy session with you. And to schedule one of those, just go to strategy.operatelikeaboss.com. So let me head back over to Tony.
All right. This was awesome. This was excellent. So I opened up the chat.
Oh, good.
And if anyone has, any questions that you want to ask Dr. Dennis while we have her on the line, please feel free to write your question in the chat. Or if you just want to say hello and let everybody know that you're here and you're engaged, you can do that as well. But I'm going to tell you that I had some very specific takeaways from what you presented tonight, because I took some notes, and I liked a lot of the things that you said, but there were certain things in there that I heard that I had not heard before as it relates to vision boards.
Okay.
So I like the fact that you talked about having everything on a timeline. And, I think that being that we have about 77 days now, we're at the end of probably the 77, so we have 76 days left in 2014. I think that it would probably be good for people to set some goals related to the last 75 or 76 or 60 days of the year. I think that would be something that would be beneficial to people. I like the fact that you talked about, the images and putting your face over certain images, and how that, impacts your actions and what you're going to do. So I really love that. I love the fact that you talked about not focusing on the end result.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you talked about focusing on the actions, because I've heard this before, that a lot of people, like when I think it was Tiger Woods said this, that before every golf tournament, he actually pictures the whole, he walks the whole, I forgot what they call it.
Course.
He walks the whole course. There you go. He walks the whole course, and, before he actually participates in a tournament, he pictures himself, taking the swing and, everything, each hole. He pictures it through, he runs it through his head first. And I've heard like a lot of people that are, track stars and all of that stuff, and how they see themselves running the whole race in their head, or if they're a gymnast, they see themselves, they go over the whole routine in their head before they actually do it. So I think that it's really powerful that you mention that we should focus on the steps that it'll take for you to achieve the goal. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, you have the vision in your head, but it's like, okay, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do now? What do I need? What's next? What's next? And I mean, and I think that that's really powerful, because I've never heard anyone really talk about that before. I talk about not just focusing on the end results. Mm-hmm. And then when you talked about putting your face on a you're on a picture of Michelle Obama, I said, oh no, not Michelle Obama. I have my head on a picture of Kelly Rowland. Did you see Kelly Rowland when she was in Shape magazine? It was just amazing. I was just like, oh my God, she looks amazing. So I know we have quite a few people that are still here, and if you guys have questions, like I said, I opened up the chat, and if you have specific questions that you want to offer to Dr. Denise tonight, I keep saying Dr. Denise. Do people do that because it's like Denise Dennis?
I get Dr. Denise. I get Dr. D. I answered anything.
All right. So if you want to, ask some questions, please don't be shy. Definitely feel free to, come on over and ask your questions. And let's see, you could ask questions and we can see. And if you, okay, Kendra, if you remember Kendra from
Oh
the
yes, of
Small Business
course.
Bootcamp. So she said, great information. You are right on point. I have my vision board hanging in my boutique, and I have written the vision and spend time daily to review and act on my vision. Great job, ladies.
Thank you.
Liz says she doesn't have any questions, but she just wanted to say that this was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us. This will make a huge difference not only in my business but also in my life.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah, that's great. And you know what also was great when you mentioned taking a picture and using it as the a wallpaper on your iPads or on your desktops. I
Hmm.
think that was powerful as well. So you can have it in front of you all the time. So
Exactly.
that was really good information to share as well. And I like the fact that you talk about more than you could create more than one vision board. You may have, like you said before with your timeline, one vision board might be to complete the year out, and then another vision board might be for the first 6 months of the year, and then the
Exactly.
next one might be for the next 6 months. You might have one for the next 5 years. So I like the fact that you have so many different options here, and I think that the information is powerful. I have like one vision board. Now let me tell you my story, my vision board, because this was like really crazy. It was back in 2010 when I created it, and it was I think it was after my mom passed away. One of the things that I wrote on the vision board was that I wanted to launch the Network for Women in Business, and that I wanted it to be an online business, an online network, and I had a number of the revenue that I wanted to generate um, per month. I didn't
Hmm.
set a date for that. I probably should have set a date for that. But interestingly enough, I put that on the vision board back in 2010. And, it was probably 2 years later when I really went into execution mode in terms of purchasing the URLs and getting everything in place for the business. And everything was available. Um, the name, the Network for Women in Business, everything was available
Wow.
and wide open. And I had put it on my vision board 2 years prior to me actually taking action on it. When I decided to take the action on it, I was just like, oh my God, it's probably not even available. But I was just so shocked that
Hmm.
everything was available. And, I was just like, the Network for Women in Business, I mean, that's so popular. I'm sure somebody has it, but no one had it.
Wow.
So that was really powerful, and it's a powerful testimony to the power of vision boards. Now, I'm going to take everything that you said, and I'm definitely going to put it into action, because there are some specific things that I want to accomplish in a specific time frame, and I'm going to definitely take these tools and utilize them. And I think you should come back.
Oh, thank you.
I think you should come back, and I think that what we should do is we should actually do a live vision board virtual party or something where everybody comes together, maybe as we get to like the first or second week in December, and we
Hmm.
map out our first 6 months of the year. We have our materials and everything together,
Love it.
and you spend some time talking us through the process, and we play some music in the interim, while we're actually working, and then we get everybody to come out on video and kind of like just show our vision boards and just kind of
I
set the
absolutely love it.
pace.
Yes.
Yeah, set the pace for 2015. So I think that you should come back, And I definitely think that we should, ahead of time, just all of those materials and tools that you spoke about, give people time to prepare for it so that we have all of that stuff. And, we could get an iTunes playlist together and just play some music and
Nice.
have some fun and go through this exercise for the new year. So I think that we should just set a date. We should make it happen, and I'm excited,
Love
and I'm
it.
sure
Love it.
everybody
Love
will
it.
come. Yeah, yeah. So this was awesome. And do you have any last words that you want to share with the group while you're here?
I want to just encourage everyone. I love the idea of doing a virtual vision board party. So we'll definitely do that, but you don't have to wait until then to get started. Get that free ebook that I talked about at vision.operatelikeaboss.com. All of the things I talked about are in there already, and then you can start thinking about that process and be ready for the virtual vision board party that will be coming your way soon.
Yes, and let's see, what is that again? Vision. I'm going to put it in the chat. Vision
Vision,
dot operate
operate like a boss.
like a boss
.com.
.com. Okay. Let's see. What
Yep,
did I
exactly.
do? You
That was
see
right.
it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good, 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 good. All right, so everybody make sure that you click on that. And what's the URL for the
For the program
mm-hmm,
is
special?
thank you.
Special dot operate like a boss.
Special.operatelikeaboss.com.
Okay. Okay, can you tell I've been working for you, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes, let me tell you something though. You know, there we go. If there's one thing that I can say about, the environment and the environment with the Network for Women in Business, we definitely support our small business owners, our female small business owners. And, I met Dr. Denise at the Small Business Bootcamp for Women, and look, here she is today as one of our experts. And I'm sure that we will probably, have her in some capacity at the fourth annual Small Business Bootcamp for Women. And, it's such an exceptional experience, but it's also a testimony to just the environment that we've created here. And that's one thing that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the atmosphere of openness, of sharing, of, really having people have a platform that they can be their true and authentic self and present their ideas to an open and receptive audience. So I'm so proud of where we are, and more importantly, I'm excited about where we're going, because 2015 is going to be a truly what I consider to be a breakout year for the Network for Women in Business. And I'm looking forward to breakout success, and I'm looking forward to actually being able to have a platform for many women business owners to come and share their expertise, their experience, and really begin to grow and expand as far as being a part and associated with this network. So why don't you tell everyone about your experience at the Small Business Bootcamp for Women?
I absolutely recommend that everyone on this call, everyone on this hangout, come out to the next one. What there are so many things to like. The information from the speakers was it doesn't even make sense to say it's worth the price of admission, because the admission for this event is so low that I actually double checked the website a couple times. I was like, no, that can't be right. The, the the information from just one speaker will change your business. So imagine having a full day of speakers that are giving you information that you can go home and start putting into practice right away. That was the important takeaway for me, particularly the lessons about how to have the sales conversation. uh, the sales conversations and how to introduce yourself to someone else and explain what you do. Those types of conversations I thought were, those types of presentations I thought were helpful. But then, in addition to the presenters, you're in this room with all of these women business owners who are either going through similar struggles, and so you can relate on that level, or you're in a room with people who need the services that you provide, so you have potential clients in the room. There's so many ways to win by attending the Small Business Boot Camp for Women.
Yes, yes, that's so exciting. I'm glad, to hear that testimony. And actually, next week we're going to have our 30-day follow-up on Monday. Actually, Monday is the 20th of October already. So we're going to have our follow-up for all of the attendees of the Small Business Boot Camp. And, what I'm looking forward to is just the feedback and the testimonies of what people have put into action. Now, I've had some people tell me that they put some things into action already, and we're really starting to see some success. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm looking forward to that. But she's right. So we're going to be opening up the actual early bird registration for the Small Business Bootcamp before the year is out.
Wow.
We have the dates. July, actually, it's going to be a 2.5-day event this time.
Wow.
So we have Friday with the networking, and Saturday and Sunday. So Sunday is going to be our social media Sunday. So we're going to do a lot of social media training on Sunday. And Saturday will be our more, general sessions and, business growth and all of that stuff. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. We're about to go into contract with the Renaissance Hotel in Elizabeth, New Jersey. It's a beautiful hotel. Kendra knows all about it. She's the one who introduced me to that hotel. And I'm just looking forward to it being bigger and better in 2015. So you guys stay tuned for that. But
do you have the date? Are you publicizing the dates yet, or no?
Not yet, but it's pretty solid that it's the 24th. It's going to be the 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Okay.
Yeah. I think those are pretty solid dates. That's what we're going into contract with the hotel. Yeah.
Put it on the calendar now.
Yes, definitely. So, like I said, we're looking for it to be bigger and better in 2015. And we're going to have a couple of things that we're going to be doing in 2015. In the weekend of October 15th, 2015, we're going to have a business wellness retreat at Canyon Ranch Spa in the Berkshires. And I've been working on this for about 2 years. So now it's finally coming to fruition. And this is going to be an all-inclusive event. So the price that you pay will include your room stay as well as some spa services and all of that, and your food and all of that. So it's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to be under $2,000, so it's going to be definitely worth it for everything that's going to be included with it. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait until the details come out about that. We also have a couple of writing conferences that we're going to be doing.
Oh, good.
In 2015, 2 Write That Book Now conferences. I know a lot of people are aspiring writers, so we have a lot of great things planned for the new year. So I am very excited about it, and excited about all of the information that I received tonight, because now I know exactly what to do to make everything that I have in my head actually come to reality. So
excellent.
All right. So if no one has any questions or any additional comments, I want to encourage you to take advantage of the offer that has been presented to you tonight. Click on the links that I shared in the chat. Definitely get to know this lady. She's really phenomenal and she can definitely help you achieve your goals. It's all about, making an investment in yourself and an investment in your success. The only way that you can achieve next level success is if you make a next level investment in yourself. A lot of times when we're seeking to grow, we think that we can't afford certain things, but really at the end of the day, it's not that we can't afford it, it's really that we can't afford not to take the appropriate action. If, where we want to go is really where we want to go, we have to begin to take that action and invest in ourselves and realize that you are worth it. And it's all about you. And the things that you invest in will be the things that will help you get to where you want to go. And I mean, I couldn't think of anything better to invest in than having that accountability and having that person that I can depend upon to help me get to where I want to be and help me to achieve my goals. So like I said, I want to encourage you to definitely take that next step investment. And I'm going to be having a conversation with Dr. Dennis about becoming one of our certified coaches with the Network for Women in Business. So I'm excited because I'm looking to, as a part of the Small Business Boot Camp for Women in 2015, we are actually going to offer some on-the-site coaching during some of the breaks. So I know those spots are going to go fast, and we have quite a few women in our community that are certified coaches that want to help you in your business. So she didn't even know this, but I'm definitely going to ask her to be one of those coaches.
Excellent. Thank you.
And it's just phenomenal. Things are just getting better and better every year, and I'm just so excited. So if no one has any additional questions, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to Dr.
Very well.
Denise Dennis for this awesome information. I mean, you were absolutely phenomenal tonight. And thank you to all of our attendees who showed up and stayed with us. So this is great. So I hope you got some valuable information, and I hope that you join us next time that we have our hangout. Our next one is actually going to be all about generating leads on Craigslist. So
Oh, interesting.
you guys could, yeah, it's going to be all about generating leads on Craigslist. So that should be pretty exciting, and I'm looking forward to that. So with that being said, I'm going to, if you don't have anything else to add, I'm going to go ahead and close us out. Is that all right?
That's all right. Have a great night, everyone.
All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. Take care and see you next time.